Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel. So in this video I am going to teach you how to sew this particular beautiful gathered gown. Okay, so keep watching, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share and comment on my videos. Let's get started. In making this particular style, I have gone ahead to draft the pattern of this particular gown. This gown has 3 steps: the top, which is the half length, the skirt length and the gathered length. Okay, the top we are going to use 17 inches, the half length we are going to use 13 inches, and the gather, there are 3 gathers there, 3 steps of gather. We are going to use 5 inches here. So this is how I divided it. The full length of this gown is going to be 40 inches. Under the knee of my client is going to be knee length of my client. So I have minus 17 inches as for the half length, is remaining 23 inches. So that 23 inches we are going to remove 13 inches for the skirt length, and is going to remain 10 inches. But that 10 inches I'm going to add 3 inches to make it 13 inches. Okay, so the full length is going to be 43 inches, not 40 inches, so that we will have enough length on the gather. Okay, so now this is what we have. I divided that 13 inches for the gather, and it's 5 inches, 4 point something. So I added it, I made it 5 inches for the gather. So each gather is going to be 5 inches in length. Okay, so now let's get started with the cutting. First we are going to cut the half length, and this is the half length pattern. It's a princess dart pattern. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to cut a princess dart in this video because this video is going to be very long. So here is the princess dart pattern after cutting it. Here is the back and here is the front. If you want to learn how to cut a princess dart, please go to my videos. I have videos on how to cut a princess dart, about 5 videos on how to do that. The purpose of this video is to show you how to gather this gown at the outer gather of this gown. So now let's cut the skirt part. As you can see, this is my skirt pattern. Okay, I've already cut the skirt. The length of the skirt is 13 inches, but we're still going to take it off. I added 1 inch because of there are so many cuts in on the skirt, and if I cut it like that, it will reduce. You already know how to cut a skirt. You come down on the hip length by 9 inches depending on how big you are. Then the waist, this is the zipper allowance for the back because I have both front and back pattern. Then on the waist, you're going to go in by your waist divide by 4 plus 2 inches allowance, and your hip, on the hip, your hip divide by 4 plus 2 inches allowance, and you're going to take it all the way down. Okay, that's just how to cut your skirt. And again, that hip circumference, you're going to take it all the way down. Your hip divide by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then you're going to cut out the excesses. That's just how to cut the skirt. It's as simple as that. If you are still confused on how to cut a skirt, I have a skirt video. Okay, it's very simple. If you don't know how to cut a princess dart, I have a princess dart video. Please go and watch it. The main purpose of this video, now you're going to slant it on the front piece of this gown. Slant it like so. Okay, so this is the skirt pattern. The sleeve of this gown is a short sleeve, short sleeve. It's a short sleeve. Okay, very short sleeve. The length is about 7 inches. So you mark your starting point of your sleeve, come down by 4 inches. Then your armhole divide by 2, you mark it down. Then your sleeve curve divide by 2. You just make your sleeve curve like so. Then mark your sleeve curve divide by 2. Mine is 7. You mark 7. I added 1 inch allowance, and then join it all the way. That's just how to cut a sleeve. Then cut it out. So my sleeve is ready. The 3 steps is going to be the last thing we are going to do, but before we do that, we will join the half length and the skirt to our lining. Okay, then iron it down. As you can see, I have already done that here. This is the back of the top, the half length, and this is the front of the half length. And as you can see, they are neatly done. I have already gone ahead to join the princess dart, and they are looking all nice. This is the half length, the top of the gown. And now we are going to move over to the skirt part and join them together. I've already done the lining of the skirt, and now I am going to join it together in this video. This is the front piece of the skirt. I've placed it, and I'm going to bring the back piece, one side of the back piece, place it on each side of the skirt now. Okay, so I'm going to shape it now with my client's measurement. Now I am going to mark the hip point, and then I place my tape on a straight line, mark the hip point, then divide my waist circumference by 2, sorry, my waist circumference divided by 2. What I have left as the allowance, I'm going to divide that thing by 2. I have 5 inches here as the allowance. I'm going to divide it by 2 and mark on each side of the skirt. Okay, and that's the same thing I'm going to do on the hip point. What I have there, my hip point divide by 2. What I have left at the allowance, I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to mark it down. Okay, so once I'm done doing, I'm going to sew on a straight line leading to the chalk that I marked. Okay, after sewing, and then now after joining, I am going to measure whatever I have on the down part of the skirt. Now let's measure what we have on the down part of the skirt. Okay, so I have about 41 inches there. Let's do the calculation. I have 41 inches on the down part of the skirt. That 41 inches is the first step. I'm going to write it down, then times it by 1.5. okay, multiply the 41 inches by 1.5 because it's a gather. So you're going to multiply. If you have enough fabric, multiply it by 2 inches, but if you don't have enough fabric, multiply it by 1.5, and what it will give you, you are going to use it to cut out the gathered part. That's going to be the wideness of your gather. Add 4 inches as the allowance, making it 65.5. okay, that's going to be the wideness of the first step. We're going to use the same method on the second step. The 65.5 multiplied by 1.5. Whatever you have, you are going to use it to cut out the second step, and you're going to use whatever you have on your second step to cut out what you have on the third step. Like what you have on your second step is 98.25. Then at 98.25, you are going to multiply it by 1.5, and it's going to give you what it's going to give you. Then you multiply, then you're going to use it to cut out the third step. That's the last step. And remember, when cutting out the last step, the length of the last step is you're going to add 1 inch to it for the folding of the last step. So let's start the cutting process. This is the remaining material we have for this particular gather. So I am going to cut out the first step, which is the 61.5. I'm going to cut it now. The wideness, that's the wideness of the gather, is 61. Remember, our full tape is 60 inches. Okay, 60 inches. I'm going to cut 61.5 here. Okay, 61.5, that's what we are going to cut here. The length of this gather is 5 inches. Okay, I think I added extra 1 inch allowance here because of the weaving. I don't want it to be less, and joining also I added 1 inch here, making it 6 inches. So I use that 6 inches because of the weaving and the joining. Let it not reduce to 4 inches. That is why I added 1 inch here. So the wideness of this particular material is 58 inches. So I'm going to cut 61.5. So I'm going to cut out this 58 inches first, then complete the 61.5, the remaining inches that we need to make it 61.5. Watch and see how I did it. After completing the exact wideness that we need, I have to cut it out and place it on top of the one we already have, then join it together. Okay, I'm going to pin it together with my needle so that it will be complete. Okay, Later I will take it over to my machine and sew on top of it. So this is the first gather. This is the second gather. We have already done cutting the second gather, and we keep it by the side. And this is the third gather, the last gather. Okay, the last gather, remember I told you that it's going to be 7 inches in length, because you are going to fold it for the at the hemming line. Okay, it's going to have a hemming allowance 1 inches, making it 7 inches in length. Okay, we will add extra 1 inch allowance, making it 7 inches in length at the last gather. So that's what we are going to do here. And this is the cutting. We have already done cutting the last gather. Now let's go over to our weaving and weave all the things that we cut. After weaving it up and down, English weaving at the up and local weaving at the down. So guys, as you can see, I've already done weaving all the gathers. I'm done weaving it, and this is how they look. So I'm going to sew a straight line on it and then gather it. Look at the one that I've gathered, and this is how it looks. This is the first gather that I've already done here. I'm going to loosen it up. I'll lose it up to 40. Remember, we are looking for 41 inches. So I'm going to lose this one that I've gathered already here. And if I lose it up to 41 inches, I am going to attach it on top of my skirt. I'm going to put it on top of my skirt. That's the place I did my English weaving. That's where I'm going to gather on top of the skirt. This is the first step. Okay, we have already gone ahead to attach the first step. This is what it looks like. So the second step, I am going to gather it and attach it on top of the first step. Okay, and I will do the same up till it gets to the last step, which is the third step. I will be putting it on top of it. I will just be attaching it on top of it. The first step was 41 inches. The second step is going to be 65.5 inches after losing the gather. The third step is going to be 98.25 inches after losing the gather. That's just how to attach it. Okay, you can see that I'm done joining the gathers together on top of each of them, and this is the work. This is how beautiful it looks. So now the next thing we are going to do now is to join the front bodies, that's the upper bodies, to the skirt bodies. I took my measurement, and what we have here is 5 inches, 13 inches on the skirt, as you can see, 5 inches on each of the gather. As you can see, it is accurate. Okay, so now let's join the upper bodies of this gown. So this is the upper bodies of my gown. I'm going to join it to the skirt, that's the down part of the gown, right side facing right side. Okay, I'm going to place it to the right side facing right side, then sew with half inch. Then I am going to put it together, attach my sleeve. Okay, I'll bring my sleeve and attach it, then put on my zip. I'm going to add my zip. All this you should know how to do it. This is not a beginner's video, so I don't have to explain much because of space. So this is not a beginner's video, you should know that. So that is just it. I'm going to attach my sleeve. So I'm going to attach my zipper to the gown, and after that I'll close up the back and then show you what it looks like at the end of the video. I had to put it on a dummy. This is what it looks like. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video. Bye.